Hello, here's how to plant a hanging basket to get the best out of it from our 10 cell pack plants here. I'm using a 14-inch basket. You could go smaller to a 12, or you could go larger to a 16. And essentially, the larger the basket, the longer shelf life you've got of usage in the garden through to the autumn. But for 10 plants, I think a 14 inch is about right. Right, the first thing to do is I'm using a metal basket and I'm using a coir liner. I find these best because they're more aesthetic, I think, than some of the plastic ones or the foam ones. And you've just got to simply, and I say simply, it is simple, to cut some slots in to feed the plants through. This is the bit that usually worries people. I've done 3 already, and I'm just going to do the 4th one just to show you. 1, 2, 3, around this side here. Okay, I'm just making a cut with a knife, just that way. Just make a cross, and then I'm going to use the scissors for the other one. That. And then that's what you need to push the plant through. Now, as to compost, use a good quality compost. Don't skimp, because those plants are going to be in that container for an awful long time, and there's not much room, so you need a good quality compost. So the first thing to do is to fill the basket by about half. And what will happen then is that when you put the plants through, they'll rest on that. Okay, now most composts you buy will have about 6 weeks worth of fertilizer in them, and that's not going to be enough to take the plants through to the autumn. You can use that compost and then liquid feed, but I prefer to use a slow release fertilizer, because then once you've done it for the first time at planting, you don't have to feed at all for the rest of the summer. You can use these little pellets, which are very popular. Use as per instruction on the packet, those. Or what I prefer to use, because I use it all around the garden, is the slow release in loose form. And for a 14-inch container, about 3 of these. And what the slow release does, it only releases the fertilizer when the temperature goes up. So if the plant's not growing, you're not wasting fertilizer. So mix that in with that, and I'll put the last measure in when I finish the planting. Okay, so this is the fun bit, putting the plants through the side. So the root ball there, if you want to, what I do to protect it when it's on its journey through the coir, you just get some kitchen roll and wrap it round the plant root ball, and then it's protected when it gets pushed through. So you find where the slot is, and it's amazing what plants can take. You'd be surprised. Just be firm with them, be confident, and you'll be okay. They'll look silly because the leaves won't be orientated the right way yet, but once they get to grow in that position, they'll be fine. I did forget to say a little earlier on that these plants, most of them in these packs that we sell, are trailing plants or mounding plants. The only one that really has to go in the middle, if you've got a geranium like this, a zonal geranium, with the zoning, the dark zoning on the leaves, that one needs to be put into the middle, otherwise it'll look a bit daft if it's trailing. Okay, so I'm just selecting these at random. Obviously this one is colour coordinated, so however you plant them, it won't really matter. And then I'm just going to wrap the roots again. There we go, that's 2. I'm putting 4 around here. And then the rest of them will go in the top of the basket. 3. And the last one going in. There. If some of the root gets knocked off, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry. The plants will regrow. There we go. They look fairly small now, but they will grow very rapidly in the next few weeks. Okay, so now you've got a basket that looks like that, with the root balls on the top there. And then it's simply a matter of topping up to the top of the basket with the remaining compost. Firm it down gently, not too much. And do come right up to the rim, because potting composts do shrink a little bit, even in a short space of time. Okay, so that's like that. And then it's a case of, as I said, if you've got a geranium, the upright one, pop it in the middle. Let's make it like that. Also, add the final top up. That's the third scoop of fertilizer. Okay, you can just work it into the soil. It doesn't really matter. As soon as the water gets on it, it'll start to act. Okay, and then lift the other ones out. That's the beauty with these cell packs. They keep the root ball nice and firm and compact and intact. And then nearly there. And although I've only got 4 around here, these plants will all trail over the edge. So within about 2 months, you won't be able to see the basket at all. There, and that's what your basket will look like when it's finished. As I said before, these side plants look a bit silly, but once the leaves orientate, they'll find their own way, and they'll look superb. Right, as to where to put it, just bear in mind that most baskets are hung up in fairly windy positions, and so you really need to make sure you water them well. Baskets in average weather will need watering at least once a day. If it's very dry, maybe 2 or even 3 times a day. Do bear in mind that watering in the evening or first thing in the morning is by far the best, because there's less wind and the moisture will be able to soak in better and the plants will be better for it. And also, at the moment, we're filming this in April. There could be frost around. All of these plants can be nipped by the frost, so be careful to give it some protection. If you're planting these out later on, then that's fair enough. But if you have a greenhouse, then that's a great thing to use. You can put this basket now into a greenhouse, and if it's one that keeps wobbling, you can pop it on a pot like that to keep it stable. And then keep it in the greenhouse for a month or so. That'll boost the growth further on, and you'll have a lovely basket. And these, with that fertilizer, a nice sized basket, good quality plants, you'll still have colour in the garden, hopefully September, October, maybe even later. Thank you very much indeed.